First Lady, myself, and 340 million Americans, our hearts are shattered alongside yours, and our prayers are with you now. And in the days to come, we'll be working very, very diligently in the days to come. We're here for you to wipe away the tears and to offer you our devotion, our love, and our support. Great support. In moments like this, the differences between Americans fade to nothing compared to the bonds of affection and loyalty that unite us all, both as Americans and even as nations. We are one family, and today we are all heartbroken. We're all searching for answers. That icy Potomac, cold night, cold water. We're all overcome with the grief for many who have so tragically perished, will no longer be with us. Together we take solace in the knowledge that their journey ended not in the cold waters of the Potomac, but in the warm embrace of a loving God. We do not know what led to this crash, but we have some very strong opinions and ideas, and I think we'll probably state those opinions now. Because over the years I've watched as things like this happen, and they say, you know, we're always investigating, and then the investigation 3 years later they announce it. We think we have some pretty good ideas. But we'll find out how this disaster occurred, and we'll ensure that nothing like this ever happens again. The FAA and the NTSB and the U.S. military will be carrying out a systematic and comprehensive investigation. Our new Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, his second day on the job when that happened. It's a rough one. We'll be, and they are working tirelessly to figure out exactly what happened. We will state certain opinions, however.
So President Trump, he already think he has some other thoughts about what may have caused this. I love his transparency.
We must have only the highest standards for those who work in our aviation system. I changed.
He wants to get to the bottom of it quick, fast, in a hurry. I love it.
To extraordinary. You remember that only the highest aptitude to be the highest intellect and psychologically superior people were allowed to qualify for air traffic controllers. That was not so prior to getting there. When I arrived in 2016, I made that change very early on because I always felt this was a job that, and other jobs too, but this was a job that had to be superior intelligence. And
so what do you guys think out there? You think that this was
and then when I left office and
air traffic control
changed them back to lower
mishap?
Than
or you think it's
before.
an attack on U.S. soil?
I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. And they put politics at a level that nobody's ever seen, because this was the lowest level. Their policy was horrible, and their politics was even worse. So as you know, last week, long before the crash, I signed an executive order restoring our highest standards for air traffic controllers and other important jobs throughout the country. So it was very interesting. About a week ago, almost upon entering office, I signed something last week that was an executive order, very powerful in restoring the highest standards of air traffic controllers and others, by the way. Then my administration will set the highest possible bar for aviation safety. We have to have our smartest people. It doesn't matter what they look like, how they speak, who they are. It matters intellect, talent, the word talent. They have to be talented, naturally talented geniuses. You can't have regular people doing that job.
I agree with that statement.
But we'll restore
I agree with
faith in
that.
American
Got to have the
air
best.
travel.
I
I'll
agree.
say about that, I do want to point out that various articles that appeared prior to my entering office, and here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. That is amazing. And then it says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they want them, they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so. This was in January 14th, so that was a week before I entered office. They put a big push to put
Yeah, I do need to clean it up, don't I?
into the FAA's
It is
program.
bad.
Then recently, second. Is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are, I mean, actually,
I'll
their
clean
lives
it.
are shortened because of the stress.
So tell me, do you all think that this is a time to
Brilliant people
really
have to be in those positions.
pay
And their lives are
homage
actually shortened,
to
very
the
substantially
individuals
shortened because of
whose
stress.
lives were
You
lost
have many planes coming
and
into one
pushing
target.
agendas? Or do you think that we just should
Really
come out
very
and really
special
just talk about,
talent
hey,
and very
this is
special
what
teams to
happened.
be able to do it.
This is what happened.
Targeted disabilities
This is
are
what
those
we're dealing with.
disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of
I think
policy,
right
has
now,
identified for special emphasis in
maybe he's
recruitment
trying
and
to
hiring. The FAA's
push the
website
agenda
states
of something
they
else.
include
But I
hearing,
do like
vision,
the approach that he's
listening,
taking.
extremities,
He has his
partial paralysis,
thoughts about
complete
what
paralysis,
may have
epilepsy,
happened
severe
or
intellectual disability,
may not have happened.
psychiatric
But let's continue to
disability,
listen.
and
You all tell me.
autism all qualify for the position of a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway.
Is my screen better now, Craig? I tried to clean it a little bit. Is it any better?
Think of that. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving.
Craig, the way that I look at it, man, it's like, hey, he's the president.
So.
It is what it is. And, he's leading the country and, we can't do anything to change that. So we have to at least listen to what he's saying and listen to
and then I came in and I
his thoughts on it.
The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete.
I agree.
Hey, winner. That guy's a real winner. You know how badly everything runs.
I am
Department of Transportation.
just listening to see what he's saying. But hey, I'm not saying that I'm a supporter or what have you. However, I am interested to see what he's saying.
Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity.
But I think right now we should be talking about what he's actually should be on there talking about, the air traffic controller and the actual crash itself. What are we talking about now? Only one with the felony conviction, you're right.
Get the
34.
administration to change that and to change it immediately. This was in the Obama administration just prior to
why are we talking about the old girlfriend? President Obama was the United States. That's his old girlfriend 8 years ago. Why are we talking about that?
But they actually came out with a directive to white. And we want the people that are competent. But now we mourn and we pray and would like to ask all Americans to join me in a moment of silence as we ask God to watch over those who have lost their lives and bring.
Hey, Obama was good.
The loved ones, and I just want to say God bless everyone.
Trump's going to be good in some areas as well. Not all. Some areas.
Very short period of time. We'll get to the bottom of it. So, we also the same thing. We've seen it many times. I've had the honor of hearing tapes. Tapes are scary, very scary tapes. You had a airliner coming in, American Airlines.
You think we'll say get the illegals out of here?
It was the same track as everybody else.
If they're illegal, yeah, but if they're here and
25 years or more.
Have the correct paperwork here and they're not causing
for some reason
any harm to others,
that was at the same height.
Let them stay and work and do the work that other Americans don't want to do, because we do need them to do some of that work, whether it's on the farms or construction, helping build the infrastructure of U.S.
said, do you see, we started about, do you see him? With the man, and then almost immediately after that, seconds after that, there was the crash that took place. Well,
who's going to do the work, though?
Like
Who's going to do the work? Chewie is my co-pilot. Who's going to do the work?
everything's fine. Follow him in.
Who's going to do that work that we don't want to do here?
You had a pilot from the standpoint of the helicopter, because it was visual. It was a very clear night. It was cold but clear. And
Hey, something. We do have the richest people running the government. Elon Musk is one of them.
American Airlines plane had lights blazing. They had all their landing lights on. I could see it from the Kennedy Center tape. We had a tape up on the Kennedy Center. That seems to be the primary. That's why I'm sure we'll see other tapes, because it's such an area where there are a lot of cameras looking up into the air, into space. So we'll probably see many other shots of it before too much time goes by. But we had a situation where you had a helicopter that had the ability to stop. I have helicopters. You can stop a helicopter very quickly. It had the ability to go up or down. It had the ability to turn. And the turn it made was not the correct turn, obviously. It did somewhat the opposite of what it was told. We don't know that would have been the difference, because the timing was so tight. It was so little. You had vision. The helicopter had vision of the plane, because you had vision of it all the way, perfect vision of it all the way from at Kennedy Center where the tape was taken. And for some reason, there weren't adjustments made. Again, you could have slowed down the helicopter substantially. You could have stopped the helicopter. You could have gone up. You could have gone down. You could have gone straight up, straight down. You could have turned. You could have done a million different maneuvers.
How many of you guys voted for Trump?
It just kept going, and then made a slight turn at the very end, and by that time it was too late. They shouldn't have been at the same height, because if it was at the same height, you could have gone under it or over it, and nobody realized, or they didn't say that it's at the same height. At the same height, it still wouldn't have been great, but you would have missed it by quite a bit. Could have been 1,000 feet higher. It could have been 200 feet lower.
He's been up all night, Barbara.
It was exactly at the same height, and somebody should have been able to point that out.
You know, he got up like, what the hell?
This is going to be studied, but it just seems to me, from a couple of words that I like to use, the words common sense. Some really bad things happened. Identical direction. You had a helicopter that was at the exact same height as somebody going in essentially the opposite direction. You had a plane that was following a track, which is a track that every other plane followed. And I don't imagine, I know I've heard today that they might have been following the preceding plane.
He was not
close,
looking for this.
Not that close.
This too much.
Plane, but
Week 2 back on the job. Too much.
Because of the direction that the helicopter was coming in. So you had a confluence of bad decisions that were made, and you have people that lost their lives.
You know, he woke up
lost their lives.
last night to this news, was like, what the fuck? You know he did.
Transportation, to say a few words, Sean Duffy.
I'm sure some heads rolled too. Who was the air traffic controller that did not get this out the way? He's out of here.
And I know you agree with me very strongly on intellect and even psychological well-being of the air traffic controller. It's such an important position.
Oh, the press is going to ask questions. This should be fun.
I changed it.
This should be fun.
When I first ran in 2016, I changed it. We had the highest standard that you could have. And then they changed it back. That was Biden, to a standard I read it to you. That was from one of your papers. One of the people in this room actually wrote that. And then I changed it back a few days ago. And I don't know that necessarily it's even the controller's fault. But one thing we do know, there was a lot of vision, and people should have been able to see that, at what point do you stop? At what point do you say, wow, that plane's getting a little bit close? So this is a tragedy that should not have happened. Please, Sean.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I would just note the president's leadership has been remarkable during this crisis. We've had a whole of government response, local, state, federal, and when you see that kind of cooperation, it begins
Hell yeah.
with the leadership.
I would have ran for president again too if it would have kept me out of jail.
Our jobs a lot easier. You made an important point that when we deal with safety,
some may not like him,
we
but
can only accept
he's a smart
the
man.
best and the brightest in positions of safety that impact the lives of our loved ones, our family members. And I think you make a really important point on that, Mr. President.
Sounds like they're trying to say we didn't have the brightest person in the air traffic controller. That's what they're getting at. They're trying to say incompetent.
I want to take a moment and extend my condolences to the families of the loved ones. We commit to them that we are going to get to the bottom of this investigation, not in 3 years, not in 4 years, but as quickly as possible with the NTSB, who is here today, as well as the FAA. What happened yesterday shouldn't have happened. It should not have happened. And when Americans take off in airplanes, they should expect to land at their destination. That didn't happen yesterday. That's not acceptable. And so we will not accept excuses. We will not accept passing the buck. We are going to take responsibility at the Department of Transportation and the FAA to make sure we have the reforms that have been dictated by President Trump in place to make sure that these mistakes do not happen again.
Oh, wow.
And again, I want to thank you for your leadership, Mr. President.
Sounds like
I appreciate the confidence you placed in me. Thank you.
Pete, would you like to say something?
Sounds like they're trying to put this on an employee in the air traffic control department.
Well, thank you, Mr. President.
I think more's going to come out quickly.
What the Transportation Secretary said about your leadership. From the moment we found out about this, we were in contact with the White House trying to determine exactly what happened. I would echo it as well. No excuses. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We first and foremost, from the Defense Department, want to pass our condolences to the 64 souls and their families that were affected by this. Never should happen. And certainly the 3 service members, the 3 soldiers, young captain, staff sergeant, and the CW2 chief warrant officer, on a routine annual retraining of night flights on a standard corridor for a continuity of government mission. The military does dangerous things, it does routine things on a regular basis. Tragically, last night, a mistake was made. I think the president was right. There was some sort of an elevation issue that we have immediately begun investigating at the DoD and Army level. Army CID is on the ground investigating top-tier aviation assets. It's to get to the bottom of it so that it does not happen again, because it's absolutely unacceptable. But I want to echo what the Transportation Secretary and you, Mr. President, said.
Sounds like we had some negligence with the Army, and maybe had some negligence with the air traffic controllers as well.
It is colorblind and merit-based. The best leaders possible, whether it's flying Black Hawks, flying airplanes, leading platoons, or in government. The era of DEI is gone at the Defense Department, and we need the best and brightest, whether it's in our air traffic control, or whether it's in our generals, or whether it's throughout government. So thank you.
Listen to the message. Do y'all hear the nugget there?
We'll stand by you. Thank you.
It's DEI and having the right people in place. So we need to see who this air traffic controller guy is.
I just want to reemphasize something the president said, and you've heard from the Secretary of Transportation.
Barbara, you know what happened. Come on now.
There really was a whole of government response. We were all on the phone. We were all communicating yesterday, trying to get to the bottom of this immediately, but also try to communicate with the American people about what happened. Something the president said that I think bears re-emphasizing, which is that when you don't have the best standards in who you're hiring, it means, on the one hand, you're not getting the best people in government, but on the other hand, it puts stresses on the people who are already there.
Listen to the
And
narrative.
I think that is a core part of what President Trump is going to bring.
Sounds like we have an incompetent person that was in the air traffic controller position.
And we want to make sure we have enough people at air traffic control who are actually competent to do the job.
And may have been a DEI employee.
In the past 10 years, you have many hundreds of people suing the government because they would like to be air traffic controllers, but they were turned away because of the color of their skin. That policy ends under Donald Trump's leadership because safety is the first priority of our aviation industry.
I'm just kidding with you, Barbara.
on DEI and the claim that you've made, are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support this?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power, you have to go by psychological quality. And psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are very.
So they break that down. In other words, they're saying it was an idiot who was running the traffic control, and we should not have hired the person because it was a DEI hire. So an idiot was in place that caused this accident. That's the narrative that I'm getting. Let's listen more. Let's listen. Tell me what y'all think.
We'll see. We're going to look into that. We're going to see. But certainly for an air traffic controller, we want the brightest, the smartest, the sharpest. We want somebody that's psychologically superior, and that's what we're going to have. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Mr. President, you mentioned at the top of the briefing that there were several Russian nationals on the flight.
Yes.
Will the U.S. government be willing to facilitate the transfer of their remains, considering
Yes, we
the
will.
fact there is no direct air travel between the two countries?
We've already been in contact with Russia, and the answer is yes, we will facilitate. Yes. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I wonder how many.
The Democratic Republican Control is getting worse, even though President John Lorenzo has been mediating the conflict between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo because he wants to bring peace and stability, the civilian future to bring peace in the
Well, you're
Democratic
asking me a
Republic
question
of the
about
Congo.
Rwanda, and it is a very serious problem, I agree, but I don't think it's appropriate right now to talk about it, but it is a very serious
I
problem.
wonder how many CNN reporters he's pointing out to get questions.
Of the 67 people we lost killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control, and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Black Hawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane, you think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families?
They are a group of people that have lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question. I'm surprised coming from you. Please.
Oh, he didn't like that question.
President Trump, thank you for being here.
Based on your analysis so far, do you have a sense of who was at fault? If it was the plane, the helicopter, air traffic control, and can you assure
No, they
people
ask
that
him who
it
was
is
at
safe
fault,
to
the
fly
plane, the
in
helicopter?
FCC?
Well, I've given you the analysis, and the analysis was, it was based on vision. You had a lot of people that saw what was happening. You had some people that knew what was happening. There was some warnings, but the warnings were given very, very late. Those warnings were given very late. It was almost as they were given. A few seconds later, there was a crash. It should have been brought up earlier. But the people in the helicopter should have seen where they were going. I can't imagine people with 20/20 vision not seeing, what's happening up there.
Oh, he's blaming it on the Army.
Again, they shouldn't have been at the same height. You're going in reverse
Who
directions
is
or
it
sideways directions.
driving
Obviously,
that-
you want to be at different heights.
Who
We see
was
it all
flying
the
that
time when
helicopter?
flying. You have planes going in the opposite. They're always lower. We're higher. So if somehow there's a screw up,
We need to know who's
it's
flying
not
that
gonna
damn
be a tragedy.
helicopter.
It'll be close.
It
but
needs to come out.
there's
Who's
never gonna
flying
be
the
a tragedy
helicopter?
If you're at a different elevation. For whatever reason, they were at the same elevation. And also, from the American Airlines Center, he's along the track that every plane is along. You say, what was the helicopter?
Do y'all
doing in
think
that
the
track?
helicopter
I
pilot
said,
was
visually,
a
somebody should have
DEI
been able to see and
employee?
taken that helicopter.
Do you
out of
think the
plane.
air traffic
And they should have
controller
been
was a
at different
DEI?
height.
What do y'all think? Thoughts?
Thank you, sir. You mentioned the Russians that were on
I think it was an
that plane.
accident.
What other nationalities were on board that passenger
There were a
jet?
couple of others. We're going to be announcing it in about an hour. We have some very specific information. We're calling the countries. We've spoken to most of them, but there were some other countries represented. I have not, no.
Mr. President, how do you think-
Not about this.
I know you've already issued an executive order, you say will restore your aviation safety.
Right.
This crash happened after that. Was the executive order successful, and what more needs to change, if people say?
Well, you know, we issued it 3 days ago, and we're in the process of making those changes. This is something that should have been done a long time ago.
Okay.
Actually, my original order should have never been changed, and I think maybe you wouldn't have had this problem. Maybe. Yeah, please, go
Yes,
ahead.
thank you. We see like everyday life that's very often those that
I'm not blaming it on DEI.
sometimes issues, as you just mentioned.
This is the narrative
So,
that
what's the
they're
plan you have? Are we going to see
spewing.
fire? Are you going to fire some of those diversity hire in the federal government? What's the
Yeah,
plan?
64
I
in
would
the
say
airplane,
answer
3
is
on the
yes.
helicopter.
We find that people aren't mentally competent. You see the language. The language is put out by them. And if you see that, I'm not going to bore you by reading it again, but these are not people that should be doing this particular job. They'd be very good for certain jobs, but not people that should be doing this particular job.
Mr. President, you have today blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high-level computer work and very complex computers.
Computer work.
And one of the other things I will tell you is that the systems that were built, I was going to rebuild the entire system, and then we had an election that didn't turn out the way it should have. But they didn't build the systems properly. They spent a lot of money renovating a system, spending much more money than they would have spent if they bought a new system for air traffic controllers, meaning the computerized systems.
I'm like that
There are
too.
certain
No matter what,
companies
they
that
still
do a
gotta
very
work
good
no
job.
matter
They
who's
didn't use
running
those
the
companies. They used companies
the
that
world.
should not have been doing it. No, I think it's very important to understand that for some jobs, and not only this, but air traffic controllers, they have to be at the highest level of genius.
Yeah, I think it's the helicopter's fault. How the hell you don't see that damn plane coming? Why are you flying, you know? You see the plane coming, get lower.
But the implication that this policy is new.
Higher, whatever you gotta do. You gotta save lives.
By nor the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is demonstrably false. It's been on the
Who
FAA's
said that?
website.
You?
No.
Yeah, we do need to put an age limit on for the president.
It was there for the
Take a look
entirety.
at what I read.
It was there for the entirety of your administration too. So my question is, why didn't you change the policy during your first
I did
administration?
change it. I changed the Obama policy, and we had a very good policy. And then Biden came in and he changed it. And then when I came in 3 days ago, I signed a new order, bringing it to the highest level of intelligence.
Oh, he signed a lot of orders. I bet he's forgot some orders that he signed. He signed a lot.
Welcome back. I'm sorry. You mentioned that a vision was probably the problem.
Yeah, you know it's tight airspace going into DC. Very tight.
One of the pilots in the helicopter may have been using night vision equipment. Was there any
I heard
indication?
that. We don't know. We're gonna know that pretty soon. It may change your view plan if you do have the night vision, so it's very possible that could have happened. That would be
Said the
maybe the
mention.
reason why you wouldn't actually see as well as on a clear night. You can see sometimes better without it.
Is it helpful to have your Secretary of Transportation confirmed, and does this intensify your interest in getting other nominees confirmed quickly? Is it helpful to have your Secretary of Transportation?
She's asking, does it help to have the Secretary of Transportation confirmed?
Quickly as well?
For sure, we want fast confirmations, and the Democrats, as you know, are doing everything they can to delay them. They've taken too long. We're struggling to get very good people that everybody knows are going to be confirmed, but we're struggling to get them out faster.
Wow.
We want them out faster.
Yeah,
It's a
if
good
they were on
question, actually.
psychiatric prescriptions, that's
We,
very tough
We've been pushing Sean, everyone
to
knows
swallow.
Sean for a long time. He got many, many Democrat votes, but they want to take as long as they can. They ask questions like some of the questions that Peter would ask that were totally irrelevant and not very good questions, but they want to just keep it going. They want to keep it going as long as possible. I was very honored actually that you got so many Democrat votes. It was really good. It was really good.
He's still talking about votes. You're the man now. You're the man.
When I try to meet with the families and take a question, is your impression that little training that was done during that time?
The what?
The training that the helicopter was involved in.
I think he's in for the next 4.
You don't know. These are the things that will come up with the investigation. You don't know. But the helicopter obviously was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and a tragedy occurred.
Right. He needs to get out of the past. He is the president. We're talking about the old girlfriends, Biden, Obama.
You've been critical of the
You're the man now.
regulations, and you called for big reforms at FAA. I'm curious, sir,
Well, I made the reforms.
what is your message?
Yes, Dr.
Yes,
Ben
sir.
420.
What is your message then to the American public in the weeks and months ahead? Should
Don't
they
come to me
feel
talking about the
hesitant,
past boyfriends or
to
girlfriends.
and,
Talk about
if you could clarify
you.
perhaps something that the
What you gonna bring to the
Secretary
table?
said when he said that this helicopter was on a continuity of government mission?
I don't know what that refers to, but they were
Yes.
practicing. They do that. They call it practicing, and they were.
Dr. Ben, I'm right there with you. You're right. He's
should
the
be-
man now.
It's only continuity in the sense that we want to have very good people, and that has to be in continuity, and that's what they refer to. But it was basically practice, and it was a practice that worked out.
You in a relationship and you keep up bringing up the past. I don't want to hear about my old girlfriend, old woman. Shit.
The first question, should people be hesitant to fly right now?
No, not at all. I'm not.
This is so much alive in his mouth. Oh my
This is
God.
something that it's been many years.
How we gonna help a country, right? Economically, I believe that.
The collision is just
Yes.
something that we don't expect ever to happen again. We are going to have the highest level people we've already hired.
Okay, kids.
Some of the people that you've already hired
so
for that
close to being
position,
on
long
time.
before we knew about this. I mean,
The people's
long
president,
before.
Donald
From
Trump.
the
He
time
is
I came
he's the
in, we
president.
started going
He's
out
the president of the
and
United States.
getting
You
the
got
best
that
people,
right, Paul.
because I said it's not appropriate what they're doing. I think it's a tremendous mistake. You know, they like to do things and they like to take them too far, and this is sometimes what ends up happening. Now, with that, I'm not blaming the controller.
Caesar, what are you saying?
I'm
What's in his
saying there are
mouth?
things that you could question, like the height of the helicopter, the height of the plane being at the same level and going in opposite directions.
What's
That's
in his mouth?
a positive. But no, we're already hiring people. No, safe flying is very safe. We have the safest flying anywhere in the world, and we'll keep it that way. Thank you all very much.
He like, thank y'all, just enough. 30 minutes. 30 minutes, all you motherfuckers. Again, I'm out. Get me out of here. He is going to his tea time. He's going to his tea time. President Trump, he has a tea time right now. He's gonna go get that, get his golf in, and he's gonna come back and he's gonna blame it on a DEI employee. What you guys think? Talk to me. As you can see, he got in, he got out. He told him 30 minutes is all I'm giving him, and I'm up out of here. That was it. 30 minutes on repeat, you right? You're right. 30 minutes on repeat. I agree. So why did y'all vote for Trump? Y'all tell me, like, why did y'all vote for him? Like, what are some things that you think he's going to do better than Biden did? Or I know everybody can say everything. Why was he a better candidate than Kamala? You think it's going to be even better the second term? Okay. That could be true. He could do some things, the second term as well. So you didn't vote for him, Barbara? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think, right now, all we can do, we just got to come together as a country. We all have to, really, man, we just got to, he's the president. He is the president of the United States. Whether we like it or not, we can't change it. He is the president. It is what it is. So we just have to come out and make sure that we are, no matter who's the president, you still got to come out and work every day. You got to go out. You got to make it happen for yourself. You can't depend on this policy or that policy is going to, control your fate. You have to come out and you got to make it work for yourself. He won't waste some money on people that don't belong here until they get it legally. Okay, I understand that platform. Yeah, if we got some people over here that's illegal aliens, that's over here and they're, raping, murdering, stealing, doing things of that nature. Yeah, I'm like, get their ass out of here. I'm with that. But, if we got people over here that's trying to make it and they're helping and out there working and they're helping, build infrastructure here in the United States, helping on those farms and, they're doing it and they're over here and they have the right paperwork, then let's do it. You want able to body adults to get free food stamps when they can work. I would vote for someone when it's their best interest and not our best interest. Combat veterans for Trump, let's go. Yep, I get it. Kamala's coming back. We're going to change it. Matthew Patrick for president. Okay. A lot of immigrant friends that came into illegally and they were proud when they completed the process. Right. Right. I know a lot of people that came in illegally and they completed the process. But they should be treated like humans. But if we got people over here and they're not doing the things that they should be doing, then, by all means, when I say doing the things that should be doing, this raping, murdering, stealing, being a criminal and a menace to society, I'm with them. Let's get them out of here. And, that's just going to be, the way it rolls. So I want to hear, I see something, 34 felonies so far. Well, I would say, the president of the United States can hold that position with felonies. They need to lift felonies for anybody that's trying to look for a job. If you can hold it in the highest position, why can't you hold it, at a position where you're coming in and you're trying to make, So if somebody's getting out and they got a felony and can't get a job at $30 an hour, we got the highest position in the land, they can do it. So we got some things we need to look at, I believe, as well. Yeah, we got to talk about the prison system. What you got to say about the prison system? But y'all want to mess with the people's lives who just want to make a better life for their family. Well, I think everybody want to make a better life for their family. I don't think it's just people who voted for Trump. I think everybody, whether you voted for Trump or you voted for Kamala or you was a Biden supporter or Obama supporter, I think all people want to, make a better life for their family. I know I do. Ben McGarry, he knows more about American history and politics than most Americans. Yeah, some of this. So proud of black men. A lot voted for Trump. A lot voted for him, a lot didn't as well. We have a large population. The person should become a workforce instead. So it's okay to demonize people without knowing their status. No, you shouldn't demonize people without knowing their status. I don't think. Is the new Black Lives Matter? And some people are just going to hide behind the keyboard. And the things like, he's the, I think a lot of people have to get over the fact that, okay, we had an election, the election happened, President Trump won the election, now the election is over, hey, it's over, and we won the election, now it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Man, my name's Maurice, man, with Vanderbilt Chronicles, so I'm all about just bringing peace, to the everybody. We don't, because somebody vote for Trump don't mean I'm gonna hate him. Somebody voted for Kamala don't mean I'm gonna hate him as well. No, we don't need them doing a third term. I ain't down with that. Now where I'm at in Tennessee, the actual we had a legislator, a senator, or congressman, somebody. That's where it came up from. It came from a representative here in Tennessee brought that up. Chill the minute you listen while you having your own thoughts. I think you should run for president. Oh man, no, I don't need to run for president at all. Talk about bully Prince Hall Lodge and other. Let's get back, Trump. Like days ago, I seen that crazy. It's time to be strong. Yeah, I just think with Now I'll tell you, I like some things about Trump. I like he's straightforward. He's going to be transparent about what he's thinking and his thoughts and everything as well. Now he likes to win. He hates to lose, and we saw that in the last. Why don't you ever see Jesus with the necklace on? He's a chain breaker. Finally, again, president with balls. Yeah, the president definitely got some balls. He's gonna do some things that's gonna shake some feathers. You better believe that. But I do like his transparency. Um, I like those things about him. But there's some things that I don't like. But that was with everybody. President Obama, President Biden. Those are all things. Um, for sure. But you damn right, he got some balls, and um, he's gonna make sure that everything is going to be uh, in favor of the United States of America. That he does have the United States of America in his best interest. All right. Well, so he's a pathological liar. Well, yeah, I think we can agree on that. Let's see. So where y'all from out there? Just kind of like, where are you from? I'm here in Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. That's where I'm located at. So just interested to hear where you guys are at, where y'all tuning in from. Hey, if y'all like this, to kind of go in and y'all like my commentary, while this is going on, I may do this on a press briefing days or what have you, and just kind of come in and see what you guys think. So if you like this, please like and subscribe to this channel. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you agree, I don't know how that. Do not see it. Only after his own interest, not the personal interest of the country. Before he got into politics. Hey, Trump was a Democratic. He was a Democrat before he, during his time on The Apprentice and all that. He changed, and then he got his MAGA following. Once he got his MAGA following, he had a crowd that was following him, and they elected him president. Which, hey, genius marketing. Yeah, he may not be the most qualified person for president, but all you got to do is have the votes, and he got a following from it. So, that's kind of the deal on it. But, just really, the best thing that happened to the U.S. is having Trump back in office. But, it's definitely a big change. We definitely were stagnant in office here over the past, 4 years. We can't say that Biden and Harris didn't do anything, because they did some good things while they were in office. Just like Trump did some good things when he was in office. Just like Obama did some good things when he was in office. And they all did some things that were not so good. Each one of them. We can agree with that. I was once a Democrat, but I'm independent. Yeah, I'm a Democrat. I'm a
victims and
independent as well. So, but yeah, I just, I think we just have to come to, it shouldn't be oh, you voted for Trump, I hate you, or you voted for this person, I hate you. We just got to come together and just, hey, live life and, be proud to be who we are, and let it roll from there. Hey, Bob, I promise you, man, every time I get on here, man, I always get that. I get the Idris Elba. I always get that. Hi, I'm not Idris, not at all. But I get that on every YouTube live that I go. Advice I have for the new generation, man. The advice I get to the new generation out here, man, just have a plan. Have a plan. Plan your work and work your plan, and stay in line with it as well. I got 2 kids. I got a freshman in college who plays football, and I have a freshman in high school who plays basketball and football. So, that's my message to them. Hey, man, set your goals, have a plan. Once you have your plan your work, and you work your plan, stick to your goals. Sometimes you may have to deviate from the path, but at the end of the day, stay on track and stay on path, and try to make sure you're doing the things that you do to reach your goals. So that's what I am. That's what I recommend, or advice I give to the new generation. And control your own destiny. That's what it's about, controlling your own destiny. Hating someone for their political viewpoint, it is. Hating someone for their political viewpoint is sad. It is. You know, you shouldn't do that. I don't think you should hate people because of the viewpoint. You have people that their viewpoint is their viewpoint. And a lot of times people have their viewpoint because that's the way that they were raised. Hey, I was raised in a, I was raised in a heavy Democratic environment with mom and dad. But as I got older, am I Democratic? I got some Democratic ways. Am I a Republican? Yeah, I got some Republican ways. So I classify myself as an independent. I'm going to vote for the best person whom I think is going to be, best for, or who falls in line with, the values that I have as a person. And I think that's going to be beneficial, in the long run. So, yes, I definitely agree with you. I hope I'm saying your name right, about that hating someone for their political viewpoint is so sad. It's just an opinion. It's how they feel, and nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with that's just kind of, everybody has an opinion. Yep, hate's dumb regardless. You're right. Whether it's for skin color or whatever it is dumb. You're from Russia. It reminds you of something. What does it remind you of? Speak your mind. Speak your mind. Hey guys, if you want to continue seeing more videos like this, please like and subscribe to my channel, Vanderbilt Chronicles. I'm going to try to check in on the press briefings. Some of the press briefings, they are going, to me, I think they are, they are informative, but they are hilarious to me as well, because I just love how he goes in on some of the pressers that he doesn't like, and then some of the ones he do like, sometimes he don't like their questions. And if you don't like their questions, he'll let them know he doesn't like them for some reason. But that's neither here nor there. But guys, again, if you like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. Here I'm looking at really trying to do some more things as far as coming out and speaking. When we get these briefings and things of that nature, and I just like to hear everybody's thought as we're all going through it. We had to get a chance. Oh, you're from Serbia? Okay, awesome. I always just like to get everybody's thoughts, and as you're listening to it, to see what we're talking about, and see if it's good. Right now, he's talking about. We were on there talking about the collision, the mid-air collision between the helicopter and the American airline jet. People coming on, hey, let's make America great again, or hey, President Trump's back in office. Yeah, we know that, but we're talking about an actual situation here, and we're trying to talk about a situation that's just happened here on U.S. soil. So we know he's the president. It's almost like people like, hey, we beat you, we beat you, we beat you. You can compare it to this, make the same comparison like to a football game. You go in and say if the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I guess the fans are going to talk until the next Super Bowl. So I guess his fans are going to talk until the next election. But you got business to take care of. The game's over with. Now, you're the man. Let's go. Let's get it. Well, I've already talked about the situation. We've been on for about an hour. basically Teflon done, man, what we were talking about whose fault is it, from the crash. The crash happened, whose fault? Who do you think do you think it was the helicopters, the pilot of the helicopter, the air traffic controller, or, the plane that was trying to land? So, we've been off about an hour. They had a briefing for about 30 minutes. President Trump came on and talked earlier in this live feed, and we had people just really talking. So that was the situation, um, and that's what we were talking about. So sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure that everybody, um, we've been on for quite some time, for about 55 minutes or so. But America's the worst thing that ever happened to the world. Wow, no, I can't say that. Yeah, Teflon. That's what's happening, man. So we're trying to find out whose fault was it. You think it was the pilot? Do you think it was the air traffic controller? Now the narrative that they were, now the narrative that they are trying to. This is what I gather from the press briefing. They're saying that we got to have intelligent and competent people in the right places to make sure that these events or these tragic accidents does not happen again. And we can't have, and this was said several times, we can't have DEI controlling who's going to be in those particular positions. So long story short, in a nutshell, they were saying that we hired people in the DEI, part of the DEI initiative piece there, should not have been in those roles. And that's why we had those roles, because we had some incompetent individuals. Now, we don't know if the incompetent individual was the person who was flying the helicopter, the air traffic control person who was controlling the traffic coming into DC Reagan, or if it was um, or if it was anybody that was coming into the driving the plane, or being the pilot of the American Airlines plane. So all of that information is going to come out soon, and we're going to see. Just really interested to know, who's who they're talking about. Just looking, we're just kind of really interested to see who they are talking about. What do y'all think about the DEI? The DEI initiative, kind of taking all of that away. What's your thoughts on that? My thoughts on it is that, hey, I think we do need some DEI in some areas. I think diversity helps. You want to have diversity. Diversity just brings about different ideas, different people coming in. You're brainstorming different ideas. If I African American male that grew up in a rural area, and we have a Caucasian American who grew up in the city of New York, and we're working in the same board. I would like to have his ideas and my ideas. We combine them together. We may not go and say, "Hey, your ideas suck and your ideas suck," but we may have a combination of two ideas that comes together because we came from two different cultures and two different environments, but we're working towards the same goal. So. Well, yeah, but and a lot of people. Okay, I can get that. You definitely. I think you definitely need to have the most qualified person in there as well. Why would Trump, who is invested in cheap labor, bring back jobs to high wages in America? You Americans need to wake up. Hey Carlton, that's some facts to that. That's some facts to that. A lot of people think DEI just means black people. Mm-mm. It does not. Uh, it actually affects women, not women of color, really. Caucasian women. Yeah. So Carlton, hey, speak on it, Carlton. You definitely, you're speaking facts. Thing is, make us rich and big and make everybody poor and small so we can manipulate them. Well, Stop justifying ignorance and prejudice. I don't think it's justifying ignorance and prejudice, Elizabeth. I think it's just, um, hey, you're going to have people that have their thoughts on things, and it may not be in line with what your thoughts are. But you don't. It's not. That doesn't mean that you hate them. You just, hey, get their opinion, understand why they have their opinion, and you just move on and agree to disagree. It's not. I don't think it's justified. I think it's really just listening to it and really, having your own ability to judge what's good for you and what's not good. Are you the lost brother of Idris Elba? Greetings from Germany. I am the lost brother of Idris Elba. Yes, Idris is my long lost big brother. Again, I get that at least 2 or 3 times every live, and this is the second one on this one. So yes, I get it. Hey, it's all good with me. So um, all is well. So yeah, I just try to kind of take you a day in my life of kind of who I am, what I do. I'm just a regular dude that works every day. Just going in. So like tomorrow, I probably come in YouTube live. It's time for a haircut and shave and all that good stuff. So I'll probably go live with my barber chair tomorrow as well, and take y'all inside of the Black Barbershop where you can hear the conversations that goes on inside of the barbershop. But my barbershop is very diverse. It has different individuals who cut hair in there. So that'll be tomorrow around 12:15ish or so. Y'all tune in. Should be a fun time. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in and providing your opinions on this mid-air collision that we had in DC. And I definitely appreciate everybody tuning in earlier while President Trump was giving his briefing and his thoughts on what he thought happened. Again, the narrative that they're kind of spewing now is that it was maybe a DEI initiative hire, and we had incompetent people that was in place. So we don't know if that incompetency that he's speaking of was the helicopter pilot, or if it was the actual pilot who was flying the American airline plane, or it was the air traffic controller individual that we had here in the air that was controlling all of that traffic coming into DC Reagan last night. But President Trump probably woke up last night to that news. He was probably pissed, probably like, what in the hell? What the hell? What? I've been on the job 2 days and this is some shit that's happening here now. Man, the worst luck in the world. Like, what? Who's the air traffic control guy? Who's the pilot? Somebody's getting fired. He came in with that apprentice deal. You're like, well, man, you're fired. So somebody's getting the hammer put to him today. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So you may as well get ready. I think as we get deeper into the investigation, we're going to see some things come out. But yeah, this was just a live that we had with President Trump's briefing that he had at the White House, and he was just telling, pretty much giving his condolences to the families that's out there. He let us know there was no survivors in this as well, and said he has a pretty good idea of what he thinks what happens, and has a pretty good idea of like why he feels that this is going to be a not so good turnout when they all get to the bottom of it. So everybody seems to think that they're going to get to the bottom of this. So this is basically, hey, President Trump basically came out and said that we have some incompetent individuals in some places that should not have been, whether it's the air traffic control guy, whether it's the pilot, no matter what it is, but we're about to see what it is. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate everybody joining on and jumping on with me today, and just really having a conversation about, the politics, of having a conversation about this crash. I think it was good for us to all get on here and interact with one another. I think it's just great. Kind of helps heal the world. we need to help heal the world. And if you're a Republican, you're Democrat, or if you're independent, I think we all need to learn how to probably try to start getting along and working together. If some of y'all watch Mourning back in the days, like, hey, can we all just get along? So we just need to all get along. Don't necessarily have to like people, but hey, let's just get along and live, laugh, and love. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. I'll be back. If y'all like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Vanderbilt Chronicles. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Peace.